You know, the one really interesting thing about these storms is that one big thing we're looking at is really how much rain we're going to get. During the press conference, the biggest thing that from the National Weather Service in the Columbia office, John Quagliarello, indicated we're going to see rain. Now, the overall scope of how much rain, that's still yet to be determined as far as a really specific amount. But nevertheless, we're looking at the possibility. Now, this is an outlook. This is not a guarantee, but we're looking at a good portion of the state. So if you draw it from I-77 all the way through the capital city, and then just draw that line straight down over into Hampton County, everybody along and east of that is under a slight risk for Monday for heavy rainfall or excess rainfall. So there's a higher probability that we may have rainfall from thunderstorms that may cause some minor flooding on the roadways. West of that, pretty much the rest of South Carolina, except a little itty bitty part as you get into Oconee County, the marginal risk is there is a chance that we have brief but heavy rainfall that might lead to some minor flooding. But the problem is this, that's Monday. Tuesday, almost the same setup, maybe a couple more counties west of I-77 into the Midlands and even into areas of the CSRA and the PD, now under slight. Just about everybody else is still marginal. So now we have back-to-back days where we have a risk for heavy rainfall. Well, keep in mind, most of the state is under a drought, 64% of the state, and especially in a lot of these areas, it hasn't rained a lick in about 10 days or more. So the ground is very dry, and if you haven't watered it, well, the simple fact is that dry ground, no matter how much rain it pours on it, it's just going to flow. It's almost like being on concrete. It's not going to have time to absorb, so that could be the leading for flooding. But that's Tuesday. Now we go into Wednesday. Even though it's a marginal risk, it covers pretty much the state along into the south of I-20 all the way down to the coast. That time framing of whatever this is going to be, that's going to be the key factor. The overall scope, and this is from the Weather Prediction Center, that many areas in the upstate will probably see in the tune of upwards of the high end, 1.5, maybe 2 inches of rainfall. All of South Carolina along I-20 south, before you get to I-95, could have anywhere from 2 to pushing 4 inches of rainfall. And then along I-95, eastern PD, eastern, southeastern Midlands, Low Country and Grand Strand could get anywhere from 4 to 6 inches, and especially along the coast of the Grand Strand, 6 to 8 inches are possible. And some models, as John Quagliarello mentioned, we could see possibly even up to a foot of rain. Again, all dependent on the track. As far as the tropical storm winds, of course, it's going to first be a tropical storm and projected from tropical storm to a Category 1 hurricane. But the chance of the tropical storm winds as of right now is still low. The highest probability is going to be right in the areas of the, right along the coastline of South Carolina. So basically the entire coastline until you get to Highway 17. Into the Midlands, it's even a lower chance. So we're not looking at a very big impactful wind event. Still, we're looking at the possibility of a rain event. Hurricane force winds, again, it is forecasted to be a Category 1 hurricane by Monday. We don't have at least any depiction all the way through Thursday if we're going to have hurricane force winds. Is that going to change? Of course. But right now, there's a little bit of confidence that we're probably not going to deal with the hurricane force winds. But both of them, and we really didn't talk about much about Umberto during the press conference because it's not really the issue we have right now. But the issue is that this is the track of potentially Tropical Depression 9 into Tropical Storm Imelda. All the waters where it is right now through North Bahamas, the water temperature is pushing 88, approaching 90 degrees. In fact, right now where it's positioned, it's off the screen, but just to the northeast of Cuba, the current water temperature is 92 degrees. It's a bath. It is a hot bath, and that's all a tropical cyclone needs, is that warm water to just keep it active. And the water temperatures along the trajectory of where Imelda is going to go. Those water temperatures are 86 to 88 degrees. All you need is 81 degrees water temperature at the ocean surface to keep these things active. And that's what we're looking at. A comparison as far as the tropical storm winds, notice that's Umberto, a very powerful hurricane, but all the hurricane activity is going to take with it. As far as the tropical storm winds, again, it is a probability on the low end for all of the Southeast Atlantic, including us here in South Carolina. And the hurricane force winds, well, it is definitely going to be something with Umberto, but models right now don't show any of those hurricane force winds that are becoming to us. So that's the big thing. As of right now, Tropical Depression 9, once it goes into a tropical storm, that'll be Imelda. We don't have any other activities right now, but those are the nicknames afterwards: Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo. But Imelda is the big thing that we're watching because it's not Imelda yet. But the bottom line is that Tropical Depression 9, where its position is right now, in between the southern Bahamian Islands and the northeast, the north shores of Cuba, winds sustained at 35 miles an hour, crawling at 6 miles an hour. Tropical storm watches and warnings tropical storm warnings are issued for the Bahamas, a small portion of Palm Beach County, along the Florida coast. Those watches for the rest of Florida go all the way into southeast Georgia coastline, as that is expected by Monday to Tuesday to become a Category 1 hurricane. And the final projections on the 5-day end, Tuesday through Wednesday, it's going to be Category 1 hurricane just hugging the coast of the Palmetto State. A lot of this, as I've been saying for the last 2-3 days, is that a lot of these projections will change, and we got to keep up with it. And as Governor McMaster said, go ahead and be prepared. We'll have updates on the tropical activity that will be impacting South Carolina. We'll have all of this updates when you join us later on here on WLTX Plus.